Greetings on this lovely afternoon on a Friday. Kind of a rainy day here, so at this point this afternoon I thought I would try something. I had already done these roses, just kind of painted them. And I'm going to take some, I'm using the palette knife with this one. And by the way, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've had a lot of challenges lately, but we're going to just keep going and see what happens. So what I did was I put down some paint, and then I took my palette knife and I just sort of did this in different ways to see what that would kind of just see what it would do. And then I put some on my palette here, and I just sort of, I think it comes out kind of cool. I just sort of drag it like this, and then probably use the brush to put a center right there. So I think that actually came out pretty cool. So what I do is I wet my brush, get a lot of water on it. Let's do an orange one. And just dab a bunch of paint right on here with quite a bit of water. And then actually put some on my palette as well. And then take the palette knife and just sort of whatever directions and so forth you think you'd like, just pull the paint out. Go back and get some more on there. Whatever, whatever, kind of draw the, might as well put some red in there. Kind of draw it all out with the palette knife. It works pretty cool, I think. And, just kind of however, kind of loose style. It's fairly loose. And then come in. What do you think you want your... And I thought that was pretty cool myself. And then I thought what I'd do is right up here, I'm going to put some water and take some of my blue. I love that color. And I'm just going to, not taking any color off the palette knife. So you kind of have the other colors left in there too. And scrape it around in whatever direction you seem to think it would work nicely. Go in and get some other colors. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's pretty nifty. We'll put our center in there. And then, of course, we would now, I could put some green. I forgot to water I forgot to wake up my paints. Well, okay. I'm going to put some green on my palette here. I'm going to come over with my knife and swirl it around and see if I can kind of do this. I don't want it that thick though. Okay, so just with the very edge. And I've got to have some more paint. Take the paint and put it on your palette. Whatever colors you want. I'm just kind of doing some greenery at the moment here. And then use your palette knife. And as I said, just, you're going to have to move the palette knife in different directions so you don't just get a thick blob. And you can do it's kind of like a semi abstract type of type of situation here. And then I could actually go back in with some more red, more on my palette knife, and go back in here and add something here and there to where you might want to just, you know, maybe have another color going on, which will kind of disturb it if it's not dry, which mine wasn't, but that's okay. Just sort of seeing how that works. So yeah, I mean, pretty cool. Just more ways to paint, you know. There's so many ways to paint that it's crazy. Whoops, that made a brown. I didn't want a brown. Okay. I'm gonna spray my paints. I forgot to do that. I guess I'm gonna have a brownish. I'm just gonna pull that. You know, depending on the direction that you want to go, you have to have quite a bit of paint. And swirl your brush in it. I mean, swirl your palette knife in it. And as I said, you're going to have to move the knife in the direction that you're going, either on the tip for a lesser thick or flat, you know, to get a thicker one. And then move it around and more on the flat side and get some leaves. So, pretty cool actually. And if I wanted to, this is some acrylic white, if I wanted to just get some highlights going on, I get a little bit of my acrylic white. And swirl that around wherever I, you know, seem to think that I want that. Just kind of figuring out how to maneuver your palette knife. I think we're going to get a thunderstorm here. But you know, hey, it's kind of interesting, kind of different ways to paint. I mean, we got finger painting, we've got brush painting, we've got palette knife painting. You know, there's so many ways to do things. All right, let's take the white off. Go back into some orange, to this orange one for a minute. Yeah, so we need to remove these colors. They're not coming out what I want. Okay. Let's go to some orange and some from Meridian. And put that on the palette. And if you want, you can swirl that back in there and, you know, make some more. As I said, it's very abstract, but that's fine. If that's what you don't mind, then that's fine. So I'll go back to some green on my palette. And depending on how you hold this palette knife, you're going to get a different, you know, style of leaf. There's some more paint. So I don't know. I just thought that was, I don't know, kind of an interesting thing to, let's take this piece of paper off and move that out of the way. And while I'm doing that, I'll spray, while that's, all these, I gotta spray the paints, and while those are absorbing, we will take this paper off here. And I think we'll put another one, we'll take another piece of paper. I love this board that I found at a secondhand shop. I mean, it really works great. It's just the right size, and that's what I was looking for, something that was, you know, would be just the right size. And I will be right back because I need some tape. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, folks, I couldn't find the tape. Okay, so just gonna tape this. I wonder if I can do this with one. Yay, I did. Okay, I don't need the amount of tape that it, oops, pull that over here. I really don't need it on the side. I just need it to stay still and be flat. So I think what I'm gonna do here is this time, I'm not gonna have anything else on the paper. And we're going to do this kind of fresh. So I'm gonna get my brush really wet, really kind of almost dripping, and I'm gonna put this blob, okay? And I'm gonna go to the palette knife, and I'm gonna move that around. Just kind of visualize what you want when you're finished. That's pretty. Okay, let's do another one. This time we'll get a couple of different colors. That's not too much different, but it's got a little more orange in it. So we have, all right, and do the same thing. You might want to vary it a little bit, you know, however. When I put it on the side or the corner, I get these things, which I think is pretty cool. Like that. So just vary how you're using your knife, your palette knife. Pull it, push it, drag it to get those cool effects. Put some water on it again. Bring it over. I think I'll put a little bit more. Actually, I kind of like the way that one turned out, so I'm going to leave that like that. And right here is where we would and right here, a little bit of sepia in with that as well. So yeah, I mean, don't you think those are pretty cool? I think they're pretty cool looking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet a little area here. Get blue, a lot of blue, and we're going to just kind of create a different, I thought maybe I would try like a tulip. My finger in there, sorry about that. So it's kind of like an open tulip. Take my round brush and maybe put a little darker center in there. pretty. Kind of reminds me of fireworks. That's cool. All right, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some, I'm going to find a little spot here. I'm actually going to use my gamboge. And for this one, I was trying to find my other type of knife. Let's see what this one, I wanted to kind of make spikes. Yeah, works. Using the corner, you just pull it out. Make this kind of a flower. And the center of this one, maybe right about there. Oh, I guess they're all, the ones I'm doing this afternoon seem to all be in that direction. No harm, no foul. So, I mean, you know, you can go back in if you want as well and, you know, darken some areas, but I mean, I kind of like the way these sort of came out. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of the palette knife, I'm going to put some green, a pretty thick green, but very watery on my palette, using this one. Get something on it. And then I'm just going to, oh yeah, I like the way this works better. Just kind of, and I'm letting it all, you know, I'm letting it mix. I don't mind it mixing. In fact, I like it mixing. So again, using this other type of palette knife, however you feel, just play around with it. It's kind of a idea I happen to think of. And we need a little more, we need some darker green there. Okay, so let's get some more on this thing. And so you can use whatever colors you like. A different look, but a very cool look, I think. Come here with this, drag it down. You could put some yellow into that. Not how much yellow left. I gotta find my yellow. Just sort of flip your hand around, drag it here, drag it there. I mean, really, it's just a bunch of endless options. So, you know, you can make them fairly thin. You can make them thick, like these. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, don't you think? And that's, you know, kind of starting from fresh. Now, we could go ahead and take some orange and red, mix that up, get it pretty watery and a lot of it here, pretty much. Get my palette knife again, and, oops, going the wrong way, okay. And just sort of, well, however you want to, but it's on my knife, my palette knife, so I'm sort of just so we're layering on top of that one. Not sure how I like how that one came out, but anyway, it's something different, right? So that's pretty cool, I think. All right, you can actually put some red leaves, right? So this was an up and then a flop over. That's cool. That's with a flat knife, so you put it down and flatten it and just kind of drag it down. So that came out pretty cool. Let me get some more green on here. Well, this is kind of fun. If you do it, I hope you find it. There's the green I was looking for. All right, so anyway. Yeah, just kind of flatten it and and come up. We'll give you that cute little point there. Let's go up instead of downwards. Let's bring the leaves up. And there's a skinnier one because I used just the tip. So it's a lot of just flicking around with the knife. Ooh, that came out nice. And experimenting with it and see what you can come up with. See what you get. It's fun. I like to just have fun with painting. So there we go. I wanted a short little video, and this pretty much, I think that pretty much did it. And I mean, of course, you can add whatever you want. It's entirely up to you. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks. A little kind of loose, abstract kind of palette knife. 2 different palette knives here. We used these 2. Whoops. This one and this one to do that. So have fun. I do hope you try some of these things. Just, it doesn't, you can use so many items to paint with. It's just a matter of, you know, figuring out how to use them and stuff like that. It's fun. So have a great rest of your day, folks, and bye for now.